Puffy Clouds puts a purple heart. I send a red one to you. That was gay. But not in a bad way.
So this close to being cancelled, but he saved us. Don't worry, I'll do the backing for you if you want, and you sing it.
Okay, go.
You ready?
Just do the back.
You know when you listen to a song, you think this is an Architect song, and then you realise that you're just in a slaughterhouse and someone's just killed a pig in front of you.
It's like they're trying to go for the average, but it's just bad. It's like seeing like a 60-mile-an-hour speed zone and thinking, well, if I do like 40 for half of it and 80 miles an hour for half of it, that's okay. But that's not okay.
Yeah, I had no idea what you meant by that, but I'm just going to roll with it. Album review! This is a podcast where we review albums, old, middle, latest. I'm Joe, that's Aidan, that's Will, and that's Denver. And today we are reviewing Architects, The Symptoms of a Broken Spirit.
Yeah, Joe, it didn't work.
No, it did work, Joe. It did work.
No, don't troll me like this. The pointing always works.
No, it didn't.
How are you guys? We haven't done album review in a spell.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been way too long.
It has been
Honest.
too long. We're going to make a New Year's resolution.
Deprived of music.
Deprived of music? What, you've just not listened to music in between?
I have, but I feel like I've been stuck because, I don't know, I feel like I keep listening to the same shit at the minute.
Yeah, I agree.
not this album, though.
No, I've just listened to this album on repeat for a month and a half.
Yeah, this is all I listen to.
That's all we listen to when
I
we do
just
album
keep listening to the same shit, and I'm like, oh, I need just new stuff. Need new stuff. Feed me.
Well, hopefully we'll get new stuff today.
Joe,
Sorry about the cursor.
Put your hands in the air, Joe.
Oh, I have to do album review like this so I don't touch the computer.
What is that green vape?
It's kiwi, passion fruit, and guava.
Don't smoke, kids.
It's quite nice,
Bad for you.
but it's really bad for your lungs, so don't do it.
I've heard
But
the
it tastes
thing
nice.
of something that like vapes are going crazy right now, like especially
These
those
health bars. Yeah, these
the
health
amount
bars
of
are
them they're
mad.
being sold. It's like
They're £6
most, like,
pop as well.
gas stations, you know, I mean, petrol stations. And stuff. That's like they're like one of their number one exports.
Yeah.
Obviously, I say one of them. I'm assuming petrol's like the main export.
Well, it's
But
because as a smoker, say if you smoke like a pack a day, which is going to cost like 15 quid, suddenly you can have like 2 of them a day for less.
yeah, but what would you say as an avid
More
meth
nicotine
user
as
like
well.
myself?
But the amount of nicotine you're having is insanely higher.
You know what's
Yeah,
also
packet of
going
cigarettes.
crazy right now, though? Prime.
Your mama. Oh,
People are fucking
Sponsored.
fighting over it. Apparently, it's really shit for you as well. But have you seen the guy Wakey Wines?
Not true.
Have you seen
Yes,
Mr.
that's like for
Wakey?
100 quid each.
Yeah, and if you buy a crate of it, it's like £1,000. And like, I think KSI's getting quite mad about
disgusting.
it. It's disgusting. It's only an hour away. I might pay him a visit, do the.
But if
do
you
the
go
thing.
and do that, you're a fucking idiot.
I'll just buy.
like buying-
I'll just buy something cheap, and then I just want to do the video with him where he goes, "Abdul, go back. Abdul, come forward. Gala bingo." You know that bit that he does.
I don't.
Bingo,
Is this some
bingo,
sort of
gala
like?
bingo.
That's
This is a
it.
normie humour thing, isn't it?
It's not. It's just a guy that's selling stuff for like
It's
ridiculous.
just huge. It's
It's
fucking.
just normies.
I don't
Yeah.
understand how stupid people are. Like, just wait.
And they're going like from all over the country though.
Drink.
Like the people are coming from like London and stuff. It's in fucking
Someone
Wakefield.
had gone from Ireland to come get it. I was like, what are
They
you doing?
swam.
Right?
They
It's the whole,
swam
like,
all the way
supply and
across.
demand thing, isn't it?
But there's also like this woman that came on it with her 2 kids, absolutely like fucking wham. Like she was like doing this the whole time.
Yes,
Like,
I saw that.
oh.
Yeah, and someone's
But what-
edited it.
The people
Yeah,
that are doing
zoomed
it are
in on
just
her.
like, what is? I can understand why when you watch those videos, but it's just I don't understand people.
Bit insane
Just
though.
fucking wait for it, man. It's getting
I went,
sold in
there's some
Albion.
in Grimsby. You know where the Mercedes car park is in Grimsby? No one really knows that where that is. Where who's watching the stream, but there's loads there. Go get some of that. I've not even tried it yet. So,
No, neither.
Probably just doxed me. That's where I live.
I've got one waiting for me at a good friend's house.
Have you actually?
Is this the same guy that stole that drumstick off you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that same guy. We know exactly who that guy is.
Roll back
He
the
bought-
tapes.
If
he
you go back
bought
50
a
album
Prime.
reviews, you'll get his name.
He bought a Prime for me, and it's waiting.
It's waiting.
It's the red one, strawberry and lime,
You'll have to-
strawberry and watermelon.
Oh.
Anyway,
Architects. So this was a pick because we hadn't done a metal album in a while. Actually, we've probably done a metal album quite relatively soon.
Caskets, Lost Souls of Metal.
Probably not. Probably. But
That was only
but
your
there's
pick
been.
before this.
Oh, was it? Maybe I'm getting back on the metal train. Who knows? But I feel like the best way to describe this album for me was like a stir fry. And
Perfection.
the reason that I've picked a stir fry, and this is depending on your thoughts on a stir fry, because me personally, I'm not a massive. If someone served me up a stir fry, I'd be like, fucking get out of there. But there's always
wait a minute, before you carry on,
Yeah.
do you know when Joe said before we started this, I've got a new segment for album review? Is it just him bringing up food for every single fucking time?
No. But listen, hear me out, because this actually, I've thought about this for fucking months.
It is a lot like a cheesecake.
It is a bit like a cheesecake, but if you imagine it like a stir fry, right? Don't know how you guys feel about stir fries, but if someone served me a stir fry, my immediate thought is, fuck.
Stick it in a wrap.
Don't like stir fries, right? But there's always those little meaty bits that are really nice, and you pick those meaty bits out.
You mean meat?
And you can call like a bit of sausage stir fry. Just eat the sausage. You quite enjoy the stir fry. You eat the full stir fry. You didn't leave with a good taste in your mouth. But you pick the sausages out. You're fine.
So what you're saying is, if you just ate sausages, it'd be better. That means it's not a stir fry.
When you go
Yeah, but it's
to a
got
restaurant
sauce.
that only serves stir fry, just order sausages.
It's like, don't you
And then
hate
you'll
when
have
you
a
order
better
a meat
time.
feast pizza and it comes with
And it
that
comes with
red
meat.
shit on the bottom?
No, it comes with that meat on it. So you just you scrape that off and boom, you've got a perfectly good pizza.
You don't eat the dough. You just scrape the meat and cheese
You're a,
off.
you're a fucking idiot, Joe.
I've thought about this and it makes sense. But you like some of the veg.
You thought about this and still thought it was a good idea.
Like,
is it,
you-
mate?
you-
Such a bad fucking
Is the analogy, Joe, that you're saying, like, the album itself is bad, but if you pick bits off, it's good? Is that the analogy?
That would be the analogy.
Joe's
but
like, in
I
conclusion, I
just.
don't like vegetables.
But I like some of the like broccoli in a stir fry is nice. But it's like the horrible noodly bits that I don't like. So what I'm
Wait a
saying,
minute. What stir fry has fucking sausages in it?
a sausage stir fry.
Yeah, I guess it's not
Is that a thing?
I've had
I'm gonna
one.
Google now.
Listen,
Where
can
have
we
you
not
had a sausage
fucking?
stir fry?
Why are we always fact checking me? Fucking hell! First the fucking yen thing. Now I'm coming out here. Now I'm here coming out saying, "Ah, I've had a sausage stir fry," and you guys are like, "Bullshit." Fucking never. There's doesn't exist. No one's ever had one of
No,
them.
fair enough. It definitely is a thing. A lot of stuff is coming up about
Thank you.
sausage stir fry
Yeah.
with
Never heard of
noodles.
Yeah, the noodles aren't nice.
to be
Don't
honest.
like the noodles. Those are the bits you pick around. But like the broccoli.
Noodles are the best part.
What I'm saying is the meat of the album is really good, and it really
So then
it's
just
nice.
buy meat. Stop
But-
buying stir fry.
But you got to pick around it because there's some elements in there you're like, oh, I don't know if I like that. Oh, and then the more you eat, you're like, oh no, definitely don't like that. And I relate that to this album.
Right.
It's like spag bowl when you take out the mushrooms because you don't like mushrooms.
It's like having meatballs, but if you just had the meatballs on their own, they'd be better.
It's like ice cream, but I'm lactose intolerant.
It's like having a 99, but you know, there's all that shit around the flake good bit, which you have to
What is
pick
that?
off.
It's like a lasagna, but I hate those weird pasta sheets in the middle. Get them out of there.
It's like
No,
Jimmy
I love
Savile
the
without
sheets.
the
I hate everything
paedophilia.
else.
I hate the rest of it. Lasagna with no meat. Vegan lasagna is just the layers and
like-
the thing on top without any cheese.
Like a steak pie, but you just open it up and pour out the steak and just eat the steak without the pastry.
No, just eat the pastry.
Just the pastry. Oh yeah.
I can imagine anything worse because like I'm alright with like looking at me you'd think I'm a big fan of pastry delicacies. Don't know why, but like I really pastry on its own not very good. Like this album, not very
I
good.
love pastry.
I love pastry. Yeah.
I
On its own,
I
you
also
could
love
just eat
pastry.
just
I could eat
Oh,
just
really?
pastry. Or phyllo pastry.
No,
and
it makes me feel.
as well.
It makes me
Well,
feel a bit.
as long as it's cooked, not just like a
Not-
roll out puff pastry and just.
Nah, no,
Just
that's
say that.
disgusting.
when I get
It's
a
like-
meat pie.
it's like a-
covered in this just brown layer
What-
around it, and I don't want it.
It's the thing is though, like when you make a cake, like you love the batter. Like everyone licks the bowl.
Joke, you just go where you.
Everyone makes a bowl. But like
14 minutes now.
you make a scone and you don't like a scone cooked is nice, but you don't like the batter. A cake, you love the batter.
No, I don't like cake.
The fact I've got to listen to this for a second time editing is fucking painful.
I can't wait.
So anyway, all in all, loved the meat of the album. I think that they obviously took inspirations from all sorts of old metal bands, like I'm hearing Linkin Park.
Yes.
Pauses for something. Not sure. Reassurance.
Joe wanted a response there, yeah.
That's all I can really think of, but there's definitely Linkin Park in there. And I think their last album, we were all going, they're just trying to copy Bring Me the Horizon here, and it doesn't sound as good as Bring Me the Horizon. It still sounds, well, I thought it still sounded good, but not as good as Bring Me the Horizon. Whereas this, I definitely think that although they've took a lot of inspiration, they've definitely found their own new sound in this album.
I don't feel like it sounded like Bring Me at all, really. But
but-
then again, I only really know newer Bring Me, so.
That's true. But
It
I don't.
sounds like new.
I don't think this album
was gonna
sounded
say-
like Bring Me the Horizon at all. I think this was like their
it was
own
a
newer
I think
thing.
it's massively Bring Me, this
Yeah.
album.
Do you? I feel like
it
it's a
even
lot more
seems
unique.
like him, and a lot of the production is like insanely Bring Me.
The insane.
It's not
I
just
definitely agree. The
hard
production
metal
is similar.
guitar. It's got like all the weird, like high,
Other elements and stuff.
like all the
Synths.
like electronic stuff they've added. It's so all the synths is so like new Bring Me. It's insane.
Yeah, definitely.
And
But I still think,
even the really good choruses in it are so just like they could be in a Bring Me album.
but I feel like it's a bit more metal-y than new Bring Me.
What, even more than the newest Bring Me album? 'Cause
Yes,
that was fucking heavy.
it was. It wasn't very heavy.
Kingslayer.
Kingslayer's
taking
a
the
bit
piss.
heavy, but not massively. Anyway, so I quite enjoyed the variation of this album. There's a lot of different songs, a lot of different feels as well, and it also took me a lot of. I don't know why you're laughing. What have I fucking said
I
now?
was so ready for Aidan to spit his coke out there when he
I was
doing
wanting to
it.
so bad. But you saw
I
my
know that
eyes,
Aidan
didn't you? I
disagrees
was,
with that,
I
yeah.
was just drinking, and Joe was like, variation. I was
Say what?
Say what?
like,
So
none of my business.
I enjoyed the variations. It definitely took me a fair few listens of this album to actually start enjoying it, I will admit. Like, at the start, I was like, this is all just fucking nothing. And then, like, by my third to fourth listen almost, that's when I was starting to go, yeah, I really, 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 really like this. And I know that this album's been quite controversial with fans, apparently. So,
Because it's good.
says Sam, who's the vocalist. But I also like how there's a lot more singy choruses. I definitely think this is his best album in terms of vocals and drumming as well. The fucking drums, they've gone for the less insanely fast riffs to more rhythmic drumming and more singy vocals, and I really appreciate that, and I really like
The
it.
drums are fucking nuts on this album.
The drums are fucking nuts, and they're produced so fucking well as well. But this is
They're not just ignored. They're not just kind of produced over, which so many bands do. They're I feel like all their songs kind of go with emphasized by the drums, or it's almost like it goes to the lead line.
100%. And I feel like there's that song, isn't there, Spit the Bone, which is all about cannibals, apparently. But the drums in that are fucking awesome. During the verses and stuff especially are really good. My main downsides to the album was I thought a lot of the breakdowny parts that most people look look forward to in these songs were really just a letdown. And not just a letdown, pretty cringy at some parts. And I feel like some of the songs are actually completely ruined by the breakdowns. Disappointing and cringy. But
that sums up the album pretty
well. Most of the songs are carried by the rest of the stuff. This is my new thing that I've done for album review, which I feel like Denver's done before anyway, is where I've listed the songs that I loved, the songs that I liked, the songs that I didn't like, and the songs that I hated in this album, to get like a nice little overview of like how much did I like?
Top 3 and the worst if you want it.
My God, I'm not going to name all the songs. But they're right. Listen,
Joe goes through worst to best all
every album now forever.
No, I'm not going to name all the songs. They're just numbers. So there were 11 songs in this album, which I feel like maybe could have done with a few more. But I was quite. I don't know. It never felt like the album was short.
It was a good length of album.
Wait, Joe, hold up. Have you rated every song?
No, I've just gone. What songs that I liked? What songs I loved?
Because I wanted to do like a Black Ops 1, the numbers Mason thing, where you go down the list, but I couldn't do that because it wouldn't work for me. Because I'd press the buzzer thing, and be like, 1, 1, 1, 1.
So, but that's what I used to do in the
0,
early days of
1.
album reviews. I would score each song out of 10 and just make it.
It was
the average.
Like we didn't want to say it, but it was the dumbest method because no album could ever really be like.
No, that
great.
was the issue. Like, it was so impossibly hard for an album to be even above a 7.
Yeah,
you're there with like a fucking great album, like 8, 9 out of 10, and you're sat there and you look at your average and it's a 5, and you're like, well, I don't know if this was a good idea. But the problem is like that's tarnished the first 20 songs or whatever in album, 20 albums.
It was until we did Paramore, because Paramore was one of at the time I said it was like my favourite album.
And it's still only got like a 7
on my system it scored like an 8. And I'm like, hang on, if this is my favourite, how is anything ever going to score above an 8?
It's because it's like that system just doesn't work because 1 or 2 songs can entirely elevate the album for someone.
Or ruin it.
Yeah, and it's like, so...
Yeah, if you had one song that was dog shit, that's it, the album's fucked.
Exactly.
The whole album
You have to have
down.
a song of, an album of nailed songs. The only time I can think of it, quickly off the top of my head, an album that comes close to probably even the old system getting it was Panic's last album. Because I did genuinely think, before this one. Because I did genuinely think so many of those were 10 out of 10 songs. A lot of them were so good.
Shame about the new album, eh?
I've listened to it once and nothing really stood out. Maybe I'll give it another chance.
It's
So-
ass, to be honest.
There was 11 songs. I loved 4 of them. I liked 5 of them. I didn't like 2 of them. I hated none of them.
There's 4. There's 4.
But there are 4 that I
Which was your
absolutely
least
loved.
favourite, Joe? Because that's the format.
My least favourite was Born Again Pessimist.
Okay.
Really didn't like the intro to that song at all. It didn't make me hyped for that song at all. Not just like the synths at the start, but also then when it starts going into that fucking massive drum the mashing of the drums. That's what I meant to say. It was just a bit of a mess to me, that song. The chorus was okay, but I just thought it was nothing. It was a nothing song. Nothing really struck me as good in that song. I said the chorus was alright, but really just felt messy and rushed. It felt like they didn't really think. It felt like I could go into any metal band room and just start fucking hammering the guitar and hitting notes, and that's what that song would sound like. That was.
Yes, you could. You would, and it's finally come full circle that you're understanding this. That they could get anybody. You could swap out the guitarist of any metal band and nothing would change.
The thing is with this album, right, is I loved 4 of the songs, and I really loved 4 of the songs. Like, I could fucking listen to them all day, all week. Like, I love them. So that really built the album up for me, you know? My third favourite was Be Very Afraid, which is the last song on the album. Now, it's worth noting that the first time I heard this song, I fucking hated it. I thought, why would you end on a song like this?
Sometimes people say stick with your instincts.
But I ended up fucking loving the guitar riff. As simple as it was, loving the guitar riff, loving like the backing vocals in between the choruses. I thought that was sick. And how heavy it was, how groovy it was. I loved it. Bit repetitive maybe, but all in all, fucking loved that song. It was heavy but meaningfully heavy. Anyway, my second favourite, again, first time I heard this album, I would have probably put this as my least favourite song. Is this a controversial... This is controversial, looking at people's faces. I would have probably put this as my least favourite song if we did it off of one listen. It ended up being definitely one of my favourites, and that is Burn Down My House. And mainly... I thought it was shit when I first listened to it because I really hated it sounded really moany, and like the bass like just sounded like really distorted and horrible. But then the more you listen to it, the more I was like, I like this. And then his vocals.
You just get used to the shitness that you think.
No,
maybe I'll say something.
I hated Death of a Bachelor the first time I heard it. And then the fucking vocals kick in, and he does that really high like melody, and then like it comes down. It's so nice. It makes me feel so good, and I love it. That was so weird, but I love it. Gets me excited every time that song comes on, and I can sing it. No, I can't sing it, but like I'd like to.
Let's hear it.
I'd like to.
Come on, Joe.
No,
you can sing it.
No, because I've got to have it in the background, and I can't because I'm streaming. So.
Don't worry, I'll do the backing for you if you want, and you sing it.
Okay, go.
You ready?
Just do the background. This is the issue. Doing it with an album review with friends.
That was actually Spit the Bone. Let me sing the other one. Oh, that was Be Very Afraid. I got you, Ben. You get the joke.
I hate you. But like, they don't all sound like that. So it wasn't funny.
Just say it isn't funny.
Just like not funny, didn't laugh. 0 out of 10.
But no, the vocal melody's great, and the drums are fucking hard hitting, and then you have those little quiet moments in between choruses, and it's nice. It's pretty sounding, that song. It's nice. Anyway, I will be surprised if this is not everyone's favourite song.
Oh, here we go, classic Joe line.
And that is A New Moral Low Ground is my favourite song on the album. Don't say anything. I'm interested to hear. But I just felt like this song is one of the best that Architects have done. Like, to the choruses sounding amazing, to the solo as well. The solo was really nice sounding, and when it first hits in, it sounds massive as well. Like, it's not like a shred your heart out solo, but it still sounds really good. Just the production on the whole song as well, his vocals, everything just comes together so nicely. Maybe the only criticism I could have on that song is that the screamy verses could do with maybe singing, but then maybe the variation or the contrast of him screaming during the verses and then the singiness during the choruses, maybe that's what makes it so good.
No, you see, for me, spoilers, not my favourite. There's a happy level that sorry, it's a bit shit. There's a happy level that Architects can sometimes sit at, but that song goes both below that level and then switches straight above it.
Sure.
So they miss the Architects' good spot, and they just go fuck off, and it just jolts between the two. So I'd argue
Okay.
it's like they're trying to go for the average, but it's just bad. It's like seeing like a 60-mile-an-hour speed zone and thinking, well, if I do like 40 for half of it and 80 miles an hour for half of it, that's okay. But that's not okay.
Yeah, I had no idea what you meant by that, but I'm just going to roll with it. But, can I have honourable mentions? Can I do that?
Yeah.
I really liked Tear Gas, very Linkin Parky song. Liked that.
That's why I like.
Really like Doom Scrolling as well, because he does those vocal riffs as well. Love it when he does those high vocal riffs. Also, just a shout out to the vocalist in general. The way he can go from just screaming like a madman to like singing the way he does is fucking perfection. I love it. And I really like When We Were Young as well. That was also a really good song. And we heard that one live, and it was really good live. And actually, the breakdown of that song is shit, but live it was really good. Oh, I've got the marker. Sorry, I know I've got the cursor. You don't have to tell me.
Aidan, what's that song? What's the band that sings your favourite song?
Data Remember.
Yeah, like what? You mean Rival Summers, of course. Tired
Do
Eyes.
they
the
still
greatest
make albums?
Data Remember? Not really, I don't think. Oh, okay.
do.
Apparently, yes.
What I'm getting at with this is because I feel like old Screamo, they never scream for long, do they, before they change to a different style? Because I feel like the lead singer's voice just gets fucked.
No, not necessarily.
Do you know what I think?
Okay.
Because I remember seeing Data Remember live where, I guess to preserve his voice, he just didn't do the screaming bit sometimes. Like, he just let...
He would just do it in parts.
Yeah, he just let the background audio do it. So I always wonder when they have these people like, it's great Screamo. Yeah, won't be doing that in 10, 15 years' time.
So
But then again, maybe that couldn't be said for many, many artists. It's like Mika. Have you ever heard Mika perform now? He can't really do like the high to
bits.
low switching anymore.
Joe can. Joe, you go for it, lad.
So maybe that's just a bit of
What songs do you want to hear?
unvalid comment.
I could be blue, I could be black.
I could be fire in the sky. I could be full, I could be apple, I could be anything you like.
There you
Because if
go.
you ever listen to his like
Nice.
later stuff, it's just like normal singing.
Sunshine, lollipop, I'm never gonna.
That's
Did
fucking
we do a
awful.
Mika album?
We
Yeah,
did,
we did.
yeah.
This is a good one.
But in conclusion, anyway, I really liked this album, and that is me. Carry on.
Thank
While you're on the thing of saying it was very Linkin Parky, I just want to point out, like, the most Bring Me song on this album, because I was just flicking through it again, is All the Love in the World. That might as well just be a Bring Me song. Like, even the opening is, like, literally like Kingslayer, if you listen to it.
We
That's
can't.
all I wanted to say. But if you
Wow,
listen
okay,
to it,
yeah.
it is insanely just Bring Me,
That explains a lot.
because that's probably in your top three as well.
What I
It's
thought
the
of this
Linkin
album
Park one.
What did you think, Dever?
is we should change chats.
Okay.
Why is someone just
no,
coming
no.
on?
Well, if anyone comes on,
Guest star.
They won't.
do you think
Nah,
we
it'll be
should
fine.
just
If they do, it'll be funny.
Just risk
Okay.
it.
Okay. Oh shit.
I'll cut it in post.
Put it in post.
What I thought to this album, every time I restarted it, I was always given hope, like, maybe I think too harshly of this album. Because I would always have, like, a lingering thought of, oh, fuck's sake, listening to this again. And then I'd always start it and be like, oh, this is alright. And it very quickly just gets kind of meh and very repetitive. Now, I know that's a criticism we often give to just albums we're just not invested in. And that was just me, ultimately. I just found it very monotone and non-invested in it enough to really notice the differences between the songs. I just wasn't that bothered after the first two songs. Only when I really do a review of it, I'm like, well, that one is actually a bit better. Or like, it would just be like general background noise not telling the difference between the songs, with the odd hook line that I'd be like, that's good. I have no idea where this is in the album when I'm just like listening to it in the background. Only when I've done my review am I like, there's that cool part of a song. It's on song 8. Who knew? I guess that's my favourite.
But do you feel like you've already got your backup? The minute I said the word, we're doing Architects, you've already gone, fucking hell. This is a throwaway. I'm not invested in this.
Well, maybe that's then why... Maybe if I've got my backup. But I always enjoyed the start of the album. Like, I always listened to it, and I was never against it straight away. I was always like, actually, this is alright. I think it's because it starts alright, and then you very quick, realise it's kind of the same again. Architects are a bit of a funny one, where,
They are funny.
So we saw them very briefly before we went to see Biffy. Looking back now, I'd be more inclined to go see Architects again and see Biffy again.
Oh!
Whether that's just because I only saw a few songs of theirs. Whether seeing a whole set, I'd be like, this is fucking shit. But if any time someone just throws an Architect song, almost any Architect song, but especially off this album, because this album's it's not horrible. Like, I really dislike the other one, but this one's copable. If you just throw any of those individual songs, I'd probably be like, they're all right. It's just listening to it as an album, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy listening to it back to back. If it was play 2 songs, go do something else, play 2 songs again, go do something else, I'd probably think it was, it's all right. But listening to them just back to back, it just made me really dislike it, other than hook moments, because I just found it very monotone, very the same. It pisses me off that all the words are in lowercase. Why?
Fuck my life.
But I can understand why people would like this music. If you like this style, you could very easily love a lot of the songs.
I think the issue is...
I wouldn't say similar styles, but similar tones, because it's always the same. It's just with metal, it's very monotone, very the same style, occasionally switching from singing to his, half metal voice, which I think is his best version, when he's not quite screaming, but he's just sort of aggressively singing. I think that's where he sits best at. When he screams, I don't like it. When he sings, I don't like it.
That's pretty bang on the money there with the aggressive singing.
What surprised me there is that, because you listen to lyrics a lot, Denver.
He doesn't.
No, I'm the
opposite. Are you the opposite?
No, he's the complete opposite.
I thought because
I listened to lyrics. They were awful.
Because what surprised me was in the last album, at least you knew kind of what he was talking about. In this album, he's just saying anything he wants.
He is. He's got the Biffy
nothing
bug.
Makes sense.
He really has got the Biffy bug.
Yeah, literally.
He's random, incoherent rambling. One of the listens I did, I literally read the lyrics, the whole thing. I was sat looking on the Spotify lyrics thing. Oh my god, it's a mess. It's a mess. If if this was written all over the walls of a room, it'd be a crime scene. It'd be an actual murder. And they'd be like, we can't catch the aggressive singing killer.
He is just saying random words and just hoping that it sounds metal.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
Wow, the first thing and probably last thing me and Joe are going to agree on.
Probably.
But I think if I'd had a few drinks, was listening to it live with everyone else going mad, I'd probably enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, I the few songs that we did hear live, I thought sounded incredible live.
This is what I mean. Maybe it's the few songs thing, because both with that album, probably the most amount of songs I could listen to in a row is 3 of theirs.
Sure.
And we only saw 3 or 4 of them live, so maybe in that little bite I was like, yeah, they're right. But if I was to stay for a whole 2-hour set, I'd be like, get me out of here.
Probably, so, yeah. I can. Well, not me, but I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? But as an album, did not enjoy. Never wanted to replay.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
My least favourite was Burn Down My House, because it was the most monotone of all the songs. It was so boring. So when you said, at first it was my least favourite, I was like, yeah, at first it was my least favourite, and it stayed my least favourite.
I can definitely get your point with that. I'm not even angry with that. I can totally see why that would be your least favourite specifically as well. But I thought it was a nice change up compared to all the other really heavy pace songs. Okay.
In my opinion. And then my third favourite was When We Were Young, mainly because it feels epic, that song. It's an epic feel.
You hear that and it feels like, yeah, this is an Architect song.
This is big, grand. Like, if I don't listen to any music for a while and then just start that, I'm like, this is epic.
You know when you listen to a song, you think, this is an Architect song, and then you realise that you're just in the slaughterhouse and someone's just killed a pig in front of you. Oh my god, this is an Architect song.
So mean. No.
In a torture chamber and someone starts up a chainsaw.
That's an Architect song. Iconic.
That reminds me now of AJ Howe, where they're like, these are our drums.
Oh god, I
that
hate
was
that.
terrible. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's so bad.
That was annoying, wasn't it?
These are our bass.
I hate
And this is me throwing a child into a wood chipper. Architect songs.
My second favourite was Deepfake, because while the song itself maybe isn't the best or worst, sits in the middle, it was always, that song would start because I'd start the album again, and it would always surprise me with it not being horrendous.
See, that was part of one of the songs that I didn't like.
So like, I would listen to that and be like, hey, this isn't bad.
I thought that had a really cringy...
I feel Deepfake and Tear Gas, same sort of level.
I love Tear Gas.
And you say you would love Tear Gas.
I love Tear Gas.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I use it all the time.
I put those on similar levels where I always listened to them and thought, maybe I quite like this. And then I would always hear Split the Bone and then be like, oh no. And then Burn Down the House would be like, Burn Down My House would be like, yeah, this is shit. So Deepfake always surprised me. Decent starts the album. My favourite, purely because of a hook line that always appeared halfway through, because it's like halfway through the album, and it always... Actually, it's not halfway through the album at all. That's bollocks. But the hook line I liked, and I thought the song was alright, because the hook was enough to carry it. Don't tell me what the hook was. I can't remember it. It's All the Love in the World. Was my
all the love in the world.
The most Bring Me song ever.
Yes. Ah, yes, that's what you said about it earlier. Maybe that's why it's my favourite, because it doesn't sound like Architects. But I quite like that song.
It even sounds like Ollie in that song. Nuts.
So, that always when that came out just near the end, I'm like, well, maybe it's okay. But no.
But then Be Very Afraid comes on. And
Be Very Afraid's kind of just meh, like a lot of the songs. So, like I say, all individually, none of the songs were horrendous. Just back to back made them so much worse. And that, as an album, it scores much worse than like the quality of the individual songs, because but maybe that's just their style that I just dislike, or God knows. It's like cheesecake, you know. When you eat too much of it,
I know what you mean.
It's
you get
bad.
But you get the crumbly bit, and then sometimes you get the meat in it, right? And you pick out the meat from the cheesecake.
The sausage.
The sausage that you have.
The sausage
Stop
cheesecake.
fact checking me. There's sausage cheesecake.
So, all in all, wouldn't list again. I think I just said wouldn't list again.
Well, that's fine.
But that's fine.
Makes more sense in the Architect lyrics.
Aidan.
I actually unironically ended up wearing a shirt of the lead singer of the band. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it actually worked out pretty well. Amazing.
Fantastic.
I actually don't know what this stain is either. Like, genuinely, what is this?
Is it
Chest sweat.
chest sweat?
Sweat in this one spot. Oh yeah, to be
Chest
fair, I
sweat.
am lactating, and that is my nipple is middle central on my chest.
No,
So I'm
chest
glad that you
sweat's
brought that
always
up.
down your middle.
No, that's my nipple. It's lactation. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a hard one. We'll put on the sad music in post, please. All right, we'll stop that. We're going to get copyrighted.
It's alright if you just do 20
Oh,
seconds.
he's just going to cut me off. I'm going to have to say it. Shut up, Joe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But before we even did this review, I may have expressed my displeasure for Joe picking the album. Maybe just a little.
Maybe just a little bit. Every time I said,
like,
"Have you listened to the album yet, Aidan?" You went,
no, not
"Fuck
that.
off!"
Maybe more like
No.
When I just walked away at the end of the album review and never came back.
There was that as well. Yeah, that was
might
on
have been
screen. On screen
So-
displeasure.
Truthfully, I spent a lot of time putting off listening to the album. And it was in one of these non-listening sessions, which I was quite happily enjoying, where Joe confronted me. And he said that I never give albums enough of a chance to grow on me, and that's especially true with like metal albums. And much like all scammers calling me, telling me that I've died in a car crash, I was a little bit skeptical. But I think he's right, genuinely. So, like the scientist that I am, I did an experiment. I listened to the album, not once, because we're not allowed to do that, not 3 times, but 10 times.
Oh my god!
That's how many times I listened to the album.
Holy
And
shit.
the results were conclusive. And that is, maybe the scammers should be calling people who like this music because they definitely have been in a car crash and have fucked up heads. All the songs are so similar, and I guess awful at this point is just a universal sound. Like, all the song names are cringy, edgy, or pretentious. And I'm definitely not the person, and this is what I've really come to, I'm not the person to ask about metal albums, about any of this kind of music, because I don't hear intricacies, I don't hear effort, all I hear is the perfect... Like, it's just white noise. It's 10, like, it's not 10 anymore. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not 10 anymore. It's just loud and obnoxious noise. It's not cool. I'm not rebelling against my parents. I'm old. I don't want to have a hearing aid by the time I'm 30 because of this shit.
I'm not rebelling against my parents. I'm just enjoying
Yeah, of
the
course
music.
you are. Look at you.
I'm just enjoying the
Look at you.
music.
Receding ass hairline looking ass. Fucking...
It's the only thing that's rebelling is my hair.
Head like a kidney bean looking ass, see-through teeth ass looking.
Oh, this was
Anyway,
getting a bit mean.
Yeah, you're right. The worst song for me is what this album does to me, Joe. It makes me a bad person. Gonna go commit violent crimes like people that play video games. Worst for me was "Be Very Afraid."
No.
Just a top string mess of noise. Isn't
It was the
really?
heaviest song on the album.
Oh,
to be fair.
you skip to any part of the song and it's just the same riff with just somebody else yelling. It's just awful. Like,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, to be fair.
I know I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
That one is, in my eyes, definitively the worst. Because I'd always get to the bottom and like as Denver said, it's passable a lot of the time. I'm not listening to it really. I'm just sort of like, it's hitting me and just phasing through my brain and like coming out the other side.
It's like
But
the sound
Be
of
Very
wind in your
Afraid,
face.
when that starts, every time it's just like getting hit by a fucking stop sign. You're like, oh, fuck off. Right, come on then. Third favourite for me, When We Were Young.
Yeah,
It's just another Nothing song for me, which was pretty much all of them. All Nothing songs. They're whatever. No one's bothered. Second favourite for me. A New Moral Low Ground.
yeah, what a great song.
It has an okay chorus.
Hang on, the second favourite.
Yes, that is what I say.
He did say you did say the third favourite was your second favourite as well. I think this is where Denver's got confused.
Don't think I did. Play it back in
What
post.
was your new third favourite?
When We Were Young.
I think you did say it was your second favourite.
I think he just didn't listen to me.
I didn't listen.
See, what's more likely at this point, Joe?
Denver not
'Cause I'm
listening,
an
100%.
idiot.
I heard
but
Be
it's
Very
more-
Afraid. I got that.
But it's
down.
more likely that that he would just not listen.
I think that's also
You
true.
know?
Uh-huh.
And there's no dig at Denver. He just doesn't listen. Yeah, so 2 for me, New Moral Low Ground. It has an okay chorus, which is arguably the best on this album. So that just shows sort of the level that we're at. But the competition wasn't fierce, so it just sort of sat middlingly at the top of the album. I know that doesn't make any sense, but number 1 for me, Spit the Bone. Cringe as hell, but yeah, probably the best structure and melodies Sounds like it could be a Bring Me the Horizon song.
Had a good breakdown though. Like the breakdown was actually good.
It even had the bleh.
It had the
And that's
bleh
what we
sound.
like.
He did the bleh sound
He did do the bleh sound.
in a cool way as well. Like it wasn't just doing it randomly. He
No, it
he intricated it with the lyrics.
I mean, you can say intricated it. What he did is he replaced the word bone with bleh.
No, because he went, "Don't forget to spit." Bleh. That's what he was doing.
Don't forget the spit, the.
It was,
bleh.
don't forget to spit. Bleh. That's
I'm
what he was
pretty sure
doing.
it says the.
Whatever. I'm not lyric master.
No, you're right. I am. Overall, metal albums are always going to be a hard one for me because I can't separate the review from my feelings for the album. I've always done it that way. It's always been that way. But at this point, there's only so many things. There's only so many ways to say the same thing. Like, we're here to explore new music and, like, expand our knowledge and all this shit. So unless a metal album genuinely has a twist,
Like the Caskets album.
or like a new formula, or like something that actually makes it stand out, then please just reconsider.
The Caskets album was different.
Shut up.
Okay.
It's like 1 in 30.
And that album was so samey.
It was, but it was really good.
Arguably more than this, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it, Aidan.
It's not that I didn't enjoy it, Joe. I mean, I didn't, but that's not the part that bugs me. The part is, we've done a lot of metal albums now.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to you. If you like them, like, hats off to you. But maybe I don't speak for everyone, but I'm done with metal songs. I've never liked them. I don't like them. And when you pick one to show everybody, I respect that you're doing it because you're like, look, new metal album. But, you know,
But like,
they're just the same.
if you can take one thing away from it,
I can't take one thing. The one thing that I can take is a noose, which I'll be using promptly if I listen to it again. I'm like an old Karen at the checkout holding the entire store hostage with one 7-year out-of-date coupon code. If you test me, I'll use it. Yeah, sorry, no funny overall on this one. This was a serious review.
oh god.
Serious
Yeah.
review.
Aidan's serious review.
Just looking back through Joe's history of picks,
Oh yeah.
there is variation in there.
What, of metal albums?
So it was Architect's Caskets, The Chords.
The Chords wasn't a
Normandy.
metal album. I'm talking about all the metal albums. I feel like where in there did I say the metal albums and all the other in-between albums that you've picked I hate? It's just the metal stuff. And again, people love it. I am not the person to ask about metal music. If people come to me and they're like, what do you think of this? I'm going to be like, I think it's fucking wank. Leave me alone. Stop showing me this. I'm done.
It's the complete opposite to what you like, though. That's the thing, and it's just
I like
you like
melody.
raw,
I like lyrics.
melody.
I like
I said, but
like actual voices that like actually sound nice, but are still like raw
But-
and powerful.
but it's weird because if I showed you this like 10 years ago, you would have probably liked it.
Exactly, because I was like
Grow up.
13. That's the point. I thought this was cool because it was on my wrestling games full of grown-ass burly men covered in oil and six-packs.
Do you remember Avenged Sevenfold?
So when I was 13, probably a little bit gay.
Do you remember Avenged Sevenfold being in every Call of Duty
not a
game?
bad
In a
one.
good way.
and that got me into Avenged Sevenfold when I was
Yeah,
like
but I
young.
like Avenged Sevenfold. Even now, I still kind of like Avenged Sevenfold.
Mm.
I feel like they have a twist on the formula, something different. You know? But these guys, it's just the same. Like, you could genuinely, if you made me a playlist of metal songs, like, it would probably just be like this and the fucking Motionless in White and like fucking, what was the other one that I can never remember? There's Architects and Polaris. And like, you just put them all together. I would not be able to tell you when one song ended and one song started. Because it's the same formula. They do the same thing. Always verse. Normally verse with scream. Some sort of big chorus with big drums and some top note fucking shit happening. About 3/4 of the way through, someone says blur. and then it's like a big thing where somebody's just hitting one note on the top of the guitar, doing this with their fucking hand, like that, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, breakdown." Then they do the chorus like twice more, and that's it.
I think you're focusing more on the skill of the guitarist than you are the sound.
Once again, you completely misinterpret me.
The same note.
It's not even about the skill. It sounds bad. It doesn't sound nice.
I like it. Well,
people that like it, I can only assume, are people that work in railways and they just like smack pikes into the ground all day, and it's like ding, ding, ding.
Working on the railroads.
Yeah, at least the railroad people have melody.
Well,
so I think, much like everyone's kind of said, there is a thing of the curse of metal, in that it is just so hard to, like, if you're a metal band, get out of that like set structure of things. Or I feel like if you're in a metal band and you vastly change something in the album, it will stand out like a fucking sore thumb. So like it has to be intricacies that are like making it different but not too different. So I think that the levels are hard to do that, which is why metal suffers so much. Which is when
the window in which metal sits is so narrow. To deviate it from there, suddenly it's not metal anymore.
Yeah, and then the fans will just hate it. So I feel like the only way some of these bands have managed to get out of that is with synths, and like Bring Me have done, and like a lot of these bands, and arguably this album's done a bit better than it has previously, is by adding the electronic stuff, adding a bit more variety to it. But it's so like too much of this. It's just too much. There's too many bands that are just doing exactly the same thing, and it's just like what do you call it when there's just too much in a market, Denver? You'll know business things.
Oversaturation.
Oversaturated.
Thank you. I'll take my 10 points for that one, bitch.
It's insane. Like, there's just so much of the same stuff. Like you said about it being like not being able to tell the different songs. I feel like I'd be able to tell the different songs, but I wouldn't have a fucking clue what artist it was. Like, they all sound so similar in that sense.
Joe
this is a very negative start.
Like, take a look at Joe's face. He looks so sad.
This is a very negative start.
But
I did quite like this album.
Yes!
I think the improvement is actually fucking insane to their other stuff. Like,
it's like the improvement of a child with no legs being in a wheelchair. It's like, wow, he can move a million times faster than he could before.
It is unbelievably better. There's like so much more, like, there's not loads of variety, but compared to the fucking other albums, it's insane how better this is, and how much varied, how better the drums are, how much better the vocals are, how, like, the lyrics, fucking ass, we can all agree. And you can't relate to anything he's saying because it doesn't make sense. And even if it does, he's talking about fucking cannibals, and you're like,
what? Why are we talking about this? Yeah,
but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I think maybe the contrast of how much better this is to their last album. Because I think the last album I probably literally gave it a 1 because it was ass. The whole thing was just a blur.
It's twice as good. A 2
was just a blur. This, I literally remember songs from it, specifically pick songs to listen to from it. Don't get me wrong, there's a few that are just like meh, but I literally don't hate anything on this album at all. I think the synths and the electronic add so much to it. I think the fact he's actually singing, which he didn't really do in a lot of the other albums, is so much better. Which is what happens to every fucking metal band in the long run, because they grow up, and that's just maturity, and that makes me sound like a cock. I'm not like, I still like screamo, but like, it's not. I feel like every band ends up doing this because it just becomes so unbelievably samey. and it's just if they've got a good enough voice or good enough production to do that. Production on this album is fucking amazing. The drums are some of the best drums I've heard in metal. Guitar and nothing special. It's just every metal band, but I think it's nothing special. But the way they've like fit it in with the drums, I love. So every song feels like punchy, I would say, and because his like vocals go to that as well, it's also like really well done. I'm not saying I love it. I just genuinely think it's such an improvement, and I like it. I agree with what Denver was saying, though, in that if you just listen to it constantly, it becomes too much. But I just agree with that with all metal entirely. Like, it's just, you can't just constantly listen to it unless it's like and this is where I say, like, Bring Me's the massive difference with that, because their songs are so different from each other.
But a lot of people hated it when they changed, though.
Yeah,
so
well,
they took that penalty, and now they have, like, the newer fans who do like the new and old.
To be fair,
maybe they should be
awful.
making these steps, these strides. Metal music, if they step forward into the land of using instruments that don't sound like shit, like, it could be nice. Like, having a saxophone solo would be sick in a metal song.
They did. They did that in Dead Butterflies.
This is the thing, like, people say that they don't like the new Bring Me stuff.
No, on the previous album, they had Dead Butterflies, which had, like, a full orchestra behind it. It was awesome.
No, that's different. No, I don't like full orchestra. I'm talking specifically
but it had the on the saxophone. It's really cool.
The fact that you're saying this and none of it just, like, no idea what you're talking about.
See, you ask for things, I tell you, you've already got them, and you just ignore it.
No, because when you're saying I've already got them, what you're like is like, look at this, and you pull out your tiny fucking magnifying glass and you point at 0.1 seconds on an absolute massive
it's like the whole song.
Elephant shit.
Nah, you're wrong.
You're just like, you're
wrong.
Look, Aidan, here it is, and it's like, no.
Wrong. Oh no, I can't believe how wrong you are right now. But we'll just, it's all right. Don't worry, I'm not stressed about
how
it.
little fucks I give.
I know, me too. I need to go to the fuck star. It's
so
fucking
carrying
close.
on.
Fuck. Oh no, I've ran out of my fuck bucks and now I can't buy another fuck from the fuck machine.
But this is why I think, like you say about Bring Me fans that are fans of the old stuff hating the new stuff, there's a fucking reason that Bring Me have managed to stay relevant for so long. And like they're still at like every Brit Awards. They're still... You don't see other fucking metal bands do that because they stay to the same formula, or they're just shit. Whereas Bring Me have vastly changed from like the fact that their last album was super like heavy, but before that, for 2 albums they'd kind of been down a bit. But then it's still got elements of that. Like no metal band usually does that; they just stick to this same thing, which is why again I appreciate this album a bit more because I do feel like they've tried to change it up. So the fans can hate it, but if they just stuck to what they did, it would just become like every other metal band where people would get sick of it. Which is why Bring Me are the best metal band. You heard it here first. But
that's facts, baby.
I feel like this album was insanely just a mix of Bring Me and Linkin Park, the heavy parts of Linkin Park, not the kind of stuff that they did. Like he almost there's a lot of times in this album it could literally be Ollie or Chester singing.
Yeah, I agree.
To be fair, I doubt it would be Chester.
Oh, I need to go. I'll be back.
That was disgusting.
I didn't even see it. What? I know we sneezed. Did we see something?
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Enhance on that. Zoom in.
Enhance. Have you said any of your songs?
No, not yet.
For fuck's sake!
I was listening, and I'm like, it's been quite a while now. Have I completely missed your least favourite?
No, I haven't. I haven't
taken the listens to the review.
Sorry,
I've been on a bit of a rant. So,
what's happened?
That's okay. That's okay because I agree, Will, with everything you're saying.
What's happened?
You sneezed.
Yeah, don't clip that, please.
Clip that.
Please don't clip that bit.
Joe celebrated?
I can't remember what I was saying now. But yeah, it could just literally be. It could literally just be Chester or.
I doubt it could be Chester.
Don't fuck off. But it's like. I think that's a hell of a compliment though, because Chester's an insanely good singer. But again, it's the heavy parts of Chester's singing. I don't think it's like his really nice vocals that it does. It's just it just felt like a mix of that. Obviously, with introducing the electronic stuff as well, it makes sense. Worst for me was "Burn Down My House." It's so mediocre though. It's just I don't hate it.
I've got a fun fact about that song.
Did he burn down a house?
No, it almost wasn't in the album, and they said that
left it out.
That they said on a podcast that I was watching that they felt bad about putting the. I can't remember. It was on YouTube.
What do you mean you can't remember? It was a TikTok thing, wasn't it, Jack?
No, it wasn't a TikTok. It was on YouTube. It came up randomly, and I was on it. Anyway, so
you were on it. You were on the podcast.
So anyway, no, just fucking listen to me. They were saying how they almost didn't put the song on the album because they made it so fast. Like that song, they made it, produced it, it was done, and they felt really bad about how easy the process was about making that song that it almost wasn't on the album.
Shocking. Newsflash. Metal music doesn't take much to make because it's all ass. Who would have thought? Who would have guessed? Not me. Anybody?
You try
How much variation can you make?
Easy. I could shit out a metal song
you could
in a day.
No, you couldn't. All right,
yes,
do
I
it.
could. Fine, I will.
Okay, I'm excited to hear this. Next album review. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what. We'll give you a couple of album reviews. We'll give you until it comes full cycle.
Right,
until
Joe,
it comes back onto my album review.
I'll do it vicariously through you, because you've got all the equipment.
Okay.
I'll tell you what to do, and then we'll make it.
All right, fine.
Good.
You got to do the vocals as well.
I mean, I can't physically do that. You're going to have to do them, but it's okay because it doesn't have to be good. It's metal.
Anyway, but "Burn Down My House" I just thought was super mediocre, and it stood out of that. Like the chorus is just, even though like his vocal sounds big, I feel like it also just doesn't. Like the production on that song is just a bit weird. I feel like it's the only one that's kind of lacking. I feel like his big like screaming bit should have been way louder, but it just kind of fades out, and it annoyed me. And I just think there wasn't really anything. I didn't like the start. I didn't like the verses that much. It was just okay. Third for me was A New Moral Low Ground.
Yeah, great song. It was on everyone's top 3. Was it on Denver's?
No.
Damn it! I thought it was going to be everyone's fucking favourite. Damn it.
I just remember it's just like quite catchy and just a decent.
That solo hits hard.
Song. The solo is really cool. Second for me was "Be Very Afraid."
Yeah! Oh, he's converted, guys. He's converted.
You were so close to being right. What happened, Will?
The second is just insanely like the drum solo at the start is fucking incredible, and then the first like few vocal lines I was like, oh, is this going to be ass? And then it just picks up insanely. Like the punchiness of that song, I fucking love it.
I like it at the start because it goes from that like mashiness all of a sudden into this like groovy thing, and I think that's what makes it stand out a lot.
Oh, it just it starts off and I'm other than the drum solo is amazing, but then I'm like, oh, is it just going to be ass? And it just insane, like it just shocked me. I loved it, absolutely loved it. And I don't usually love like the proper heavy metal stuff, like if it's too heavy. This was very heavy, and I very much liked it.
Yes.
It's very big, amazing chorus, and a great way to end the album, in my opinion. It actually made me want to listen to it again.
As much as I love that song, I still don't think it was a good song to end on.
I do. I do.
Average Architects fan be like.
Genuinely loved it. But first for me, and it's kind of always been the first, is Spit the Bone. It's just the most like, don't get me wrong, I feel like every other metal band could probably do that song. and it sounds very similar.
Not the drums.
Just the most, not the drums. The drums are insane, but it's just the most like catchy, and it stuck with me the most of other songs because it's funny. It's hard to sing "Be Very Afraid," isn't it? It's impossible, but it's the punchiness of this album was what highlighted it for me the most, and I think it's because of the drums. Like if you took out a lot of the drums and had worse production, I probably wouldn't have liked this album half as much.
You know what? I fucking agree with that. 100%.
Like it massively added to this album for me. 'Cause I just love it when like the drums are highlighted very much so on this album. So it sounds like I've kind of sucked this album off, but again, the Curse of Metal. Well, it's just kind of sick of hearing metal. So I didn't have to listen to this that many times to know my opinion on it because I didn't want to listen to it too many times, but I still liked it. It's just hearing a lot of metal all the time gets a bit much, as we can all agree. I just think it's one of the better metal albums that I would happily listen to again.
Cool.
So
that is Will, keep speaking. You're turning me on.
It's once again proven that Will is the only opinion that Joe cares about.
He's the yes man.
He literally is the yes man. Joe doesn't like mine endeavours because it's controversial to his own opinion. He doesn't like it. The parallels. He's like, no. Whereas Will is like, yes, I also like getting shit on my chest. And he's like, and when Joe's he's like, yeah, me too. You know?
I do know. I know exactly what you mean.
I'm waiting for my yes man. When are you guys going to really love acoustic music?
We all love
I like acoustic music.
Yeah, but you never do this. You never hit me with a. I didn't like.
Yeah, but acoustic music also has a curse of all.
You didn't let me. You didn't let me finish. I didn't like acoustic music before, but this album changed my mind, and I'm like, no way.
Because everybody, you can't hate acoustic music. It's just
it's chill
nice
as fuck,
sounding.
isn't it? Really. And
But again, I would
sounds
agree.
Nice.
It also has the problem of metal, though. I feel in that so many of the songs sound
just an album
similar.
of it.
Is the only true genre pop because of how distinct it can be?
I just really listen to Spit the Bone. I don't get the praise for the drumming. Like, it's just basic.
Did you praise the drumming on Spit the Bone?
Yeah.
You did.
You said the drumming.
Me and Will both did.
You said it could be done by any other metal artist apart from the drumming.
The drumming is insane.
The drumming's really bad or really good.
Really good.
Like, it's just
really
basic drums with fill.
No, it's not.
What's special about
It's so
that
fucking
song?
rhythmic and complex and interesting.
Are we hitting them with the rhythmatic?
I'm sick of some, like,
My new
crazy
laser
drum fill
gun
or
at the
something, and,
rhythmatic.
yeah, it's good drumming, but like,
It's great.
I don't think it's anything another drummer couldn't do.
It's more just how the drums goes to everything with this album. Like the drummer's very good.
That's production, really, more than anything, isn't it?
I think like they've just got everything like layered so well on this, and the drums very cool. And I don't know, some of the stuff is insane that he plays, but anyway.
Kind of mad that humans like drums, isn't it? Really, we're just like yes, hit
Noise.
things.
The ultimate
fucking
like
love drums.
instrument that just makes noise from
out
hitting things.
We out here percussion.
We out here
How?
beating.
You're looking down a lot, Will. Are you okay? Can you see?
Sorry, I'm fiddling with something.
Oh.
His foreskin.
Oh.
Oh.
I like the.
You need one of those fidget
the
cubes.
chill. Your camera's definitely got this like ASMR vibe with the
It
candle in the
really
background.
does. Can you start doing like finger things towards the camera?
Yeah.
Got a Viking horn, Star
Can you
Wars
do like
poster,
no? Can you
player.
whisper this, please?
Does anyone else get the feeling? It might just be your camera, but it feels like your whole room is on a slant.
You know what? Now that you mention it,
Oh my
a little
God,
bit, but
yeah,
not,
sure.
Not like kinda.
Well, mine's
Like,
but
the
only
picture
because of the
behind you
picture.
is not
Yeah.
parallel to your
Only
head.
because of the picture.
Like,
Sorry,
your
that
picture
was
is
really
going
scary.
down towards you,
I don't know.
making me think the whole room is like very slightly like this.
Yeah, I'm on a slant all the time. It's like on a boat.
I love those videos of people on those like really.
They
like,
jump and they end up on the other side of the room.
Or they hit the ceiling.
Yeah, the crazy fishing ship video. Like the guy walking down the hallway and then instantly just like slides off to the side. Love that shit. Could you imagine how much you get like?
You see the one where he's like doing cereal and he gets to pour his milk and the milk just fucks off sideways. Like.
Maybe I should become a fisherman.
Ratings. This has been a fucking long album review.
Sorry.
Oh, 8.5.
3.
2.
7.
Once again, Will's fucking ratings make no sense.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's not even worth wasting my breath at this point,
it's
is
a
it?
thumbs up from Joe.
It's a thumbs up from me.
He scores 20.5.
I think that's the best
Arguably.
that's the best Architects album yet.
One of the highest
We did
rated
two.
albums as well.
That's the third Architects album, I think.
Best Architects album yet. Yet it's the lowest rated one.
Is it?
Oof. Damn, Joe out here not giving enough of them 10.
What did the other ones
it's,
get?
It's not overall, granted, but you've rated it the lowest.
Have I?
And
Probably because I
we've only
prefer
done
the
one
other.
Architects album.
I thought we did two. Because we did the one with Doomsday on it, we did the one with
Oh, fuck.
animals on it, and then we did this one.
Oh shit, maybe you're right.
Denver, just for point of reference, obviously, it's fine. He can do what he wants. I would like to know what albums Will's rated a 7, though, just out of curiosity.
What other albums Will's rated a 7?
Yeah, I would like to know that.
Will, you can't change your rating. Just
No, you can't. To be fair, you can't, and I respect it. I just wanna know. I want to get an insight into your head on what Architects is similar to.
Okay.
Okay, here are Will's. Let me just highlight these. Will's.
See, this is the
7
power
ratings.
of the spreadsheet.
James Bay, Chaos and the Calm.
Fairs,
With
yeah,
confidence, better weather.
I mean, that was a great album, but alright.
Pink, To Be Human. 1975, the 1975. All Time Low, So Wrong It's Right. Hosier, Wasteland Baby. The Beatles, Please Please Me. Sam Fender, Hypersonic Missiles.
Okay.
KSI, Dissimulation.
Yeah.
Lizzo, I Love You.
Okay.
Oh, no, Because I Love You, sorry. Yumi at 6, Cavalier Youth. Bieber Doobie, Fake It Flowers. Pierce the Veil, Collide with the Sky. Eden, I Think You Think Too Much of Me. Olivia Rodrigo, Sour. Architects, The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit.
I think
that's it.
we all know that Will's ratings do not make sense. That has
true,
been
they
evident
really don't.
throughout all of the album reviews. But
It's always just how he feels on the day, the phases of the moon, what star sign horoscope he read that week.
Who are you to tell me what my ratings should and shouldn't be? Go fuck yourself.
my
I
God,
am my own man.
You
I
certainly
have my
are.
own
I would
feelings.
fuck myself,
You do.
but
And we've done this over like fucking 4 years. Your opinions change. That 1975 album, I would rate way higher now.
What's
I would
also
probably rate the last
interesting-
Architects album lower. So like, it's impossible to fucking do that.
That's
Like,
true. I can't wait
you're
till about
thinking-
4 months down the line when you think back to this album and think, fuck, it's like a 3.
No, I still love it. I listen to it quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, because you know what you're going to be doing in 3 months' time.
What's
You just
interesting
said
to look
you
at-
know
Well,
what I
you
think it
literally just said in 4 years' time your taste changes.
It does.
I can't wait till you regret this. That's all I'm saying.
But you said 3
And I
months.
know
It won't change
out
in
of
3
your
months.
stubbornness, you won't. You'll fucking go to the grave. I'll look at you on your deathbed, or more likely it'll be the other way around. And you'll finally admit to me and be like, yeah, the Architects album was pretty wank. And I'll be like,
I'm not stubborn though. I will admit when I've got something wrong. And I think at this moment in time, I would rate this album from that. What? I feel like I always admit if I've got something wrong. This is the guy laughing who's the most stubborn person I've ever met in my entire life.
that's true.
Literally, everyone else could agree with that.
Yeah, it is pretty so.
It's
You.
really tickling
So
me.
everyone's against you, Aidan. Fuck you.
What I would like to say though is what's interesting to see now. Like,
Everyone's against you, Aidan. Fuck you.
It's so funny. Holy shit.
Sorry,
what I'd
never
like to
go
say
on.
about Will's 7s, though, is of all Will's 7s, it seems to be a thing where whenever Will gives a 7, everyone else rates it lower.
Oh.
Like, only on 5 occasions, now sometimes these being the same albums, has Will given it a 7 and it not been its highest rating.
You know how it be, Denver.
Considering we've done like 300
it's
albums.
The different is better mentality.
So most of the time when Will gives a 7, 7 was the highest that album scored.
Yeah, it's definitely the different is better mentality there.
There's no two ways about it, honestly.
Look at his face.
I don't like
here we go.
That's just not true. How is that different? It's better.
Oh god.
Joe rated it higher than me.
No, we're talking about.
Wasn't one of those occasions.
No, we're talking about all the other occasions other than 5.
So this being one of those 5. So on 4 other occasions, has someone given it, at least one person given it higher rating than your 7?
Yeah, that doesn't mean necessarily. I feel like I like a more widespread genres than you probably do. Aidan's like fucking. It has to be singing. So any metal album, Aidan just fucking cuts out instantly.
Let's just say.
Oh, it's gone! Oh no, Karen, we're gonna be the album review!
Not the time, lad.
Oh, that's so funny. Did it fuck up the
God.
thing? Oh, it
Yeah,
did.
well done.
That's
That
funny.
was perfect.
Yeah, you maybe just right about swapping shouts, Denver.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, that's funny.
No,
Well, what's the next album? Because, well, you're not going to win that argument. Let's move on.
I listen to more music than anyone.
He's still gonna go.
But
He's
Aidan
still
is
doing
the
it,
same
yeah.
fucking-
He's still
Right,
doing
because
it.
it's
He's still
bullshit.
going
You
for
can't
it.
claim shit against me that I can
Okay, Will,
put back against.
Will, you're starting to sound like me, and that is not good.
Yeah, what's
Like-
going on, lad?
No, because I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Isn't that what I say all the time?
But the difference is I'll
Will's
admit
like,
it.
I know when I'm wrong, and I'm never wrong.
It's
I
like,
know
do,
I'm
do,
wrong.
do you remember when I think I was following Will at some point, like driving, and was on the motorway. And I was like, you hog the middle lane quite a lot, Will. And he was like, well, the middle lane's for overtaking, and I'm always overtaking.
It's like, why would you go in the... I hate the fucking mentality of I'm going to go in the left lane, but I'm going to go straight back out again because there's a lorry there. I'll go back in.
No, I agree with
Go
you
back
because
out
it's
again.
annoying.
It's so annoying.
Because you
You
get.
mean the fucking rules?
It is the rules of the
such a
road.
fucking
But it is
shit
annoying because you go in the left lane and then you're thinking, right, I'm going to need to get back in the right lane in a minute because I can see that lorry over there. But then by the time you've got there, some fucker's doing the same speed as you and you can't
need to
and you
slow
can't get
down
back
for
out.
the lorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because they're middle lane hogging. You see, if one person middle lane hogs, it causes everyone else to middle lane hog. If nobody middle lane hog, it wouldn't be a problem.
What, so you're all in the left-hand lane, and you all occasionally dip out at the same time, so then you all
Yeah.
have to go back in again. It's fucking
Yeah.
stupid. Just stay... I'm always
If
overtaking,
you're staying
so
in the
why
middle
would I
lane,
keep
though,
going?
someone else has to go in the fast lane to overtake you, which then blocks all lanes.
No, it doesn't.
It does. If you're in the middle lane and I
You're,
go to overtake
you're on a
you in the
motorway.
fast
There's a
lane-
third fucking lane. Use the third lane to overtake me,
Yes,
cunt.
but then what's the point in having 3 lanes if you're just going to immediately block one?
One lane for lorries, one lane for middle drivers, and then any
It's not
fucker
a
that
lane
wants to
for
speed,
lorries.
go. I know it's
It
not, but that's the way it should
basically
be.
What also annoys me is when lorries can overtake. It's the longest, most drawn-out thing on a fucking motorway. Anyway, we're fucking extended. Let's just go to the next album.
What's the next album?
album is... because I'm going to carry on with the whole people requesting an album on YouTube thing.
Oh, cool.
People keep doing that because they will get picked if they're not terrible.
We're really sorry if
don't
we
know what
haven't
to say.
picked them yet, but we will be picking them.
Yes. The next album, much to my kind of dislike, we'll see, is Taylor Swift Midnight. And I will put the screenshot post.
Is that the one? Is that the
Don't
one that
say
is?
it, Joe, but yes.
You fuck.
Yes,
It is, but it's the only request we've had in a while, so I have to do it.
We've got loads of older requests. You should
Yeah, but
jump
have you
in the
seen
queue.
Have
Jump in
you
the damn
seen them?
queue. Yes, I've seen them.
Taylor-
But still
Why don't you pick them then?
Taylor.
Why don't you pick
Times
them?
have changed.
Is that-
since 2019?
Taylor Swift? What?
Unbelievable.
Midnight.
When did this come out? Last year?
This year.
Oh, I'm disgusted you didn't know.
Oh no,
Last year.
it's last year. Yeah, sorry, I forget it's January. But yeah, that's the next album. You have to pick stuff that people are out requesting, right? And I said, because
Oh!
can't do that again. We'll get some fucking creep again. I was like, she's like, oh, you should listen to this album. I was like, well, if you want it, put it in the YouTube comments. So done it, so I can't exactly not pick it. It'd be rude.
I saw it again. There's like 7 other ones, but that's fine. It's not jumping the queue.
I also remember saying no.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, that is 1/4 of us.
You did.
So yeah, this is a democracy. Are we taking this to a damn vote? Don't get me wrong. I
No,
still
you don't
vote
get to
yes.
choose other
I still
people's
vote
albums.
yes.
I vote yes.
Yeah, why not?
Awesome.
Man,
Cool.
he's using his powers. This is ridiculous.
This has been an hour and a half fucking album review. So let's
We can, we can cut some stuff out.
Joe, give us a fact.
Did you know that silly putty, otherwise known as Play-Doh, was discovered as the residue left behind after condoms were first created? Obviously, it's not widely publicised, but Play-Doh is literally just condom residue.
There's going to be a new podcast coming out soon. Not sure what it's called yet. We're going to be doing a gaming podcast because we all play games. Some of us play less and just 2 games. But we'll see what happens.
See what happens.
Which of us just played 2 games?
And for my next review, F1 manager.
I wonder.
What have you been playing, Denver? F1.
Oh, right, F1.
Alright, Denver, what have you been playing this month? F1.
I love that you were so like, who could it be?
Who just plays 2 games, guys?